Tiana here.
And Caleb, welcome to TLR at home. Obviously, tonight's a little different than most nights. Nobody is in the building. Y'all are having your own watch parties or your own solo party, do you, at home. And this is our hope for this night is really that you guys just get a chance in what's about to be a pretty crazy season to stay at home, relax either by yourself or with people. Maybe this is a little more accessible for the people on your campus to meet up. Also, if this is your first time, what's up? Glad you're here. But just give you guys a chance to not have to come to us. We kind of want to come to you, but digitally. So digitally. That's not a word. Digitally, so you can just relax. And we're gonna be real raw, honest here, as you can tell. But thank you so much for tuning in. It's gonna be a little bit of a shorter night tonight, but we want to start at the top with an opportunity for y'all to do something. To get to know Tiana better. To get to know Tiana better and to get to know the people around you better. So we're gonna play this new game. You probably never heard of it before. Never have I ever. Yeah, that was corny. Sorry. But the way this game is going to work is you guys put up, and with Tiana, because we're going to kind of interview her low-key, put up 10 fingers. We're going to say, hey, never have I ever blank. If you have done what we say, you got to put a finger down.
Okay.
And then you kind of like expose yourself to the room. Cool? So let's do this first one.
Let's see how this goes, guys.
And we'll just see how it goes. First one. Never have I ever called in sick to work when I haven't actually been sick. I was about to say, you are not that good of a kid.
Nope, not at all.
Also, look around the people next to you to see if they're exposing themselves.
If you had to put like how many times, I'd probably have to put down this whole hand. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's okay. I've been delivered from it. I've been delivered from the line, y'all.
What's the reason? Is it just like you're just not feeling it that particular day?
So, okay, I used to work at Forever 21 and I hated it. Worst job ever. And I would just be like, you know what? No, not doing it. So, you have to do that whole thing.
Because if you plug your nose and you do it, it just sounds like you're
Or I'm great at sounding like my mom. So I could be like, hey, Tiana's sick.
Ooh, I've done the fake signature before. Yeah, don't do that. Y'all are grown. Be better.
Do better.
Okay, all right, next one. Okay. Never have I ever cheated on a test. That was my favorite pastime in high school. I had the arm technique down where you do the like, I'm just thinking, and you're looking over to the left, or you do the back crack.
Yep. Oh, yep. No, what
was your
literally
technique?
Used to think when I was in college, I was like, I got my degree in psychology. I was like, I'm gonna be like a therapist on Quizlet. Someone's gonna be literally sitting across from my desk, and I'll have Quizlet right here because I actually know nothing.
That's incredible.
So yes.
Okay, I'm sure most of you put your fingers down. If you didn't, good job. But like, we're all sinners, you know. Anyway, next one. Never have I ever fallen up the stairs or in public. You've fallen up the stairs?
I am so clumsy. It's bad.
Do you remember the moment? Do you just know that it's happened, or do you remember the moment?
I'm pretty sure, like, probably once a week at school, I would trip up the stairs.
Once a week.
Like, I just wear these bulky shoes and can't walk in them ever, so.
Okay.
There's that.
There we go. All right, next one. Never have I ever been to a foreign country.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
You're blessed.
A foreign country is just anywhere
country, that's right? Not America. Yeah.
But
where have you been?
Colombia, and then.
Sorry. One more time for the people in the back because I missed it.
Colombia.
Are you Colombian?
I'm not. I'm Puerto Rican.
Okay.
Then I went to Dominican Republic.
Nice. I'm guessing for mission trips, right?
No. I would love to do a missions trip, but that was definitely not it.
Okay, cool.
No, I would. That would be great, but I was definitely chilling at these vacations.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
All right, never have I ever, this one will be fun for the people in the room for a little flex if this is you. Never have I ever been on TV. Really? Okay, you're just like.
I'm going through. It's like he actually picked all the ones that he knows I'd have to play.
No. I've never met Tiana before.
This is our first time meeting.
We're such bad liars. Okay, what were you doing on the old telly?
Okay, so I got to do like background vocals for something on The Chosen. They were having like a Christmas.
No way.
They were having like this Christmas movie that they did, and so
Yeah.
I did background vocals on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What was it? Do you remember the song?
I'm pretty sure it was with Mav, so I'm pretty sure it was like Promises or something. You know.
The classics.
Classics.
Yeah, whatever. Cool. Next one. Never have I ever. I was gonna say milk. We'll just do any large container of liquid. Never have I ever drank liquid straight from the carton.
Okay, I actually haven't.
Wow.
It was a big thing in my house. Like
you
do
just
not
don't
drink from the carton.
You
So
never
now-
even did the waterfall where you like don't let it touch your lips.
No, now it actually like gives me like the skeevies a little bit.
Like
Yeah.
milk, juice, any Sprite.
Well, Sprite's not in a big carton.
No, I'm like a
okay,
a 2
gallon,
liter.
a gallon.
A 2 liter.
I actually don't think so. I might be missing
Really?
it. If you guys find a video or photo of me, expose me. But I don't think so.
Okay. I hope you guys are still playing along. I'm not even keeping track. I also didn't want. This almost feels like Blue's Clues. I'd be like, are you guys playing? Do you see the clue?
What is it? How do we get to that? It's like
Yes,
Dora.
they're like, we just got a letter. Wonder who it's from. Anyway, never have I ever cried while watching a Disney movie.
1000%.
Which one was it for you? And then I'll tell you what it was for me.
Okay. Disney, Pixar, same thing?
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like all the Toy Stories, every time they get
Really?
me up.
Okay, no. That Toy Story 3, when they're about to just like burn.
I
and I'm
can't.
like, no way, this is how they're
I
doing
could
it, right?
actually start crying right now thinking about it.
For me, the last time I remember, it was Frozen 2. So unexpected, right? It was a really weird winter. I don't know what. I was going through something, right? And I'm like, let me go watch a kid's movie with some friends and laugh, right? And then I don't know if y'all know, there's that song called The Next Right Thing.
Yeah.
Where she's
wow.
literally like in a cave,
Wow.
huddled up,
Yeah.
like basically singing about depression. And I was like, yo, I feel that.
Caleb had a therapy session during Frozen.
I was like, this is so like freeing. And the person next to me was like, oh, that's funny. Cause she thought I was fake crying.
And you're actually like,
And she was like,
full blown.
oh, are you good? I was like, we'll talk after the movie. so yeah, Frozen 2. It got me. It got me. All right, here we go. A couple more. Never have I ever peed in my pants. Yeah. We're just gonna let them,
Yeah.
you guys talk amongst yourself
we
for
don't
a
have
second.
to talk about it. Golly. Are we gonna?
Yeah, we'll talk about it. I'll go first.
Yeah, you go ahead. I'm still healing.
Here's
from
one
that
time.
moment.
I can't remember. I was coming home from work. I used to live an hour and a half from work, right? And I love efficiency. I don't like stops. I love, like, if I've got a 12-hour drive,
No, me too.
I'm stopping at the 6-hour mark for bathroom, gas,
Yep,
food,
yep,
and then
yep.
we're still going, right?
Yep.
And so I'm just driving home from work, really gotta pee. I'm like turning into my apartment complex, and I've been doing the like
Oh
in
my
the
God.
seat, and I don't know what possessed me to just be like,
Just release.
it's
let
happening
go.
now. And I just sat back.
Oh,
and
that's
just
worse than
let it.
mine. That is so much
I
worse.
just let it. I was like, I will literally pass out from the pain of holding this pee back if I don't just let loose right now. Angela was a great car. She's no longer with us.
Oh no,
but,
I would have had to burn the entire car.
What was it for you?
Well, gosh, that was crazy. I can't believe you just
That's why I
admitted
went
that.
first.
Yeah, now I don't.
I
now
can't
feel
see
so
any of
bad.
you right now, and please don't ask about it next week.
Golly.
Gosh, okay.
Well, mine, same kind of situation. I was
Okay.
driving home, and I was like, oh my, because I can hold my pee pretty
Mm-hmm.
well, and I was like, wait, I'm in my head thinking like, am I actually about to like, is this actually happening? Like,
am I here?
Like
right
I
now?
can't hold it anymore.
Yeah.
How old are we? And I was running in the house, and it was just, and I was like. So I made it up to the bathroom, and there was nothing but for me to get in the shower.
That's the worst. When you're like, finally made it to the bathroom.
There's nothing.
I sat down.
It's all in my
it's done.
jeans.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're being so honest with these people
Yeah,
right now for no
it's all
reason.
right, it's okay.
Two more. Be mega honest on this one, all right? Never have I ever thought a friend's baby was ugly. Hardcore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Most
Okay,
babies.
actually, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Would you rather a close friend of yours tell you your baby's ugly, like just be honest with you, or
Uh-huh.
would you rather them be like, oh, like so cute?
I'm not a father.
Right.
I would like to think that I'm neutral enough to see my child and be like, man, I will love that thing till the day I die, but that's an ugly baby. So I think I'm cool.
But it's
but it
different.
depends how they say it, right?
Yeah, it's also
if they just come
different,
through like, yo, that looks like a potato. Then I'm like, yo, we're not friends anymore.
I think it's different when you think it. It's kind of like the sibling thing where you're like, gosh, my sibling's so annoying. But then when a friend says it, you're like,
yes.
hold on.
I'm like, you're actually not allowed to have that opinion. Yes.
I think it's the same thing. That's what I think. I'm
And
like,
we won't expose any friends live, but
no.
Do you have any like immediately that come to mind recently where you're like, you saw a picture on Instagram and you're like, ooh.
Okay, actually, so thank God, all of my friends who have just recently had babies, they are all like so precious and perfect. So I haven't had to really, toggle that like, oh, she's special. I can actually say she's cute. But there have been some babies on Instagram where I'm like, you could have waited. Just wait a little bit longer to show us the face. You could have waited.
Yeah.
The hands.
Because like 6 months in, I would say like most babies are cute.
Yeah.
Right out the womb.
But just like the toes, do a little preview maybe.
Yes.
Not the face. Just a lot.
Just let us know like Shiloh Rose was born.
Right? Just let us know she's happy.
What time?
Happy.
Yeah, healthy, happy. She coming in at 8 pounds, 6 ounces. And that's that. We don't need to see the rest.
No.
Okay, that was too long. We got oh my God, I'm coughing. We got one more. This one will really expose some people in the room. Never have I ever accidentally said, I love you. My fingers are still up.
Gosh, man.
I don't trip like that, okay? I don't play with people's emotions like that. No, I'm joking. I think very thoroughly. I think it's probably just childhood trauma why I don't say I love you that much. But what situation was it for you?
So there have been times where like I just sometimes blank out. When the conversations are so awkward, my mind actually goes into like robotic mode.
Okay.
And I like sweat so bad, it's a lot. And one time, someone that I had just met, it was extremely awkward, and we were like, all right, so nice to meet you. I was like, okay, love you. Literally just met them, and they were like, what the heck is wrong with this girl?
They didn't say back?
No, of course not, because they are completely sane and fine in our awkward conversation, and I'm the one that's sweating and stressed out.
But you can like laugh and be like, I love you too. Like,
but it was awkward, so they didn't even know how to.
Were you into them?
No.
Okay.
It was like a casual like, oh, it's so nice to meet you.
It's like when the waiter brings you your food and they're like enjoying, you're like, you too.
Yeah, that same thing. So yeah.
Cool. Well, I hope we didn't expose too many people.
We didn't
you
finish. I was close.
You had one, but we only had 10. So you aren't like completely exposed. And I'm like a little bit better. Not with the pee the pants thing.
Yeah,
I'm actually still thinking about that right now.
He should have put down 2 fingers for that story.
Okay. We'll leave it here.
There we go.
But guys, thank you for playing along. I hope you guys now know Tiana, me, the people around you a little bit better. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna throw to worship. But before that, we wanna throw a slide up on the screen with a question that y'all can answer if you're alone. Answer it in your head. But a question while we get set up for worship in just a second.
Bye, guys. Love you all.
That was so awkward. Yeah, bye. We'll see you in a bit.
Well, hey everybody, welcome to TLR at Home. This is something that we do occasionally, once a year, once a semester, to kind of switch up the pace, get out of this room that we're in right now and get into your homes where you guys can gather. If it's your first time ever joining a TLR event, we just want to thank you and say that we're really glad that you're joining us. I'm Clay, this is Tiana and Lauren. And for each of you, I just pray that the peace of God meets you where you are tonight and that you are aware of his presence with you in your homes. One of my favorite things to do is just in my home be aware that God is with me. And as I get in my car, that God is with me. And as I go to work, that God is with me. He's with you everywhere you go. And so tonight, we're just glad that you've joined us. We have a couple of songs, and especially for you, if this is your first time at a TLR thing, or maybe your first time being invited to a church event, I love that this first song tells you basically what it is that we believe. And it has nothing to do with our performance, has nothing to do with how good we are. Maybe your idea of religion has something to do with performance or measuring up. The gospel of Jesus has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that he met us where we were. And so the people that you're sitting with in a circle tonight are all people who have been touched by a love that they couldn't earn or deserve, and God poured it out anyways, freely. And so pray that you find that tonight where you are. We're going to sing these two songs together and worship him.
Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Yeah.
Even at home, don't be afraid to sing it.
When I was your foe, still your love fought for me. You have been so, so good to me. When I felt no worth, you paid it all for me. You have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Yeah. Oh, that's how he loves us. Oh. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No, no. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No, no, no. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't
Father. Sing, you give life. You give life. You are love. You bring light to the darkness. You give hope. You restore every heart that is broken. Great are you, Lord. It's your breath. It's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise to you only. Great are you, Lord. You give life. You are love. You bring light to the darkness. You give hope. You restore every heart that is broken. Great are you, Lord, and it's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise to you only. We pour it out, we pour it out. Oh, so great you are, so mighty you are. Let's sing together, all the earth. And all the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Lord. Oh, and all the earth will shout your praise. Our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, Thank you guys so much for worshiping with us. You can grab a seat if you aren't already, and we're going to get to listen to Matt speak.
Hey, what's up, TLR? We are really excited to get to hang out with you in this fashion, in a living room, in a watch party, by yourself, however it is that you are hanging out with us. We're really glad you're here. Now, we say at the living room that we hope this becomes your home away from home, so hopefully you're experiencing your home away from home at your home. I don't know how it works, but we're gonna make sure that this is a great experience for you. Now, I don't know whether or not you died laughing when Tiana said that they should have just waited to post the picture of their baby, or if you were able to engage and lock in and worship with Tiana and Clay and Lauren. But our hope is that this experience is really one that you're able to have among other people, that there's a community aspect to us doing TLR, no matter where you are, that hopefully we're able to figure out how to make this a really good experience for you. Because in this season, what I want to talk to you about is something that you're going to experience outside of TLR. You can't avoid it. It's going to be everywhere. And it's something that for some of you, you may think is fun, but for the majority of us, it's just super annoying. So unless you're a poli-sci major and you get really excited about politics, let's call it what it is. We are in a political season. There are midterm elections coming up. There's a lot of conversation around that. All the ads, everything you see literally everywhere is all around us. But here's what I know about political seasons, is that more than anything, they elevate the reality that a lot of us have differences. That we're all different, and we have differences of our opinions, of our race, of our experience, of our background, of our ideologies, of our beliefs. There are differences that you're going to have among the people that you walk around. And that's just true for all of us. And here's what happens with our differences. Our differences create obstacles. This is why politics are what they are. Our differences create obstacles because whatever I believe about something or whatever experience I've had around something, if you've had something different or you've had something opposite, it's hard for me to fully understand or put myself in your shoes. And so that now becomes an obstacle for us connecting. And so our differences create obstacles. But there's some way that we're supposed to live that's just different. There's a way that we are called to live as followers of Jesus that's different from the standard of obstacles and oppression and difficulty that we see in our culture, the tension that we see in our culture right now. We're called to live a different way. Really, over this entire semester, we've been talking about the way that we live, whether it was living my best life and how you apply wisdom into your life, or even the last series we just finished up, Did God Really Say?, where we evaluate truth and lies, and where do we find that foundation of truth, and can God be our ultimate authority? And so if you are someone that says they want to live their best life, and if you are someone who wants to place God as your ultimate authority, then there's a way that we are called to live in spite of our differences that's different from what the world would say. And Paul actually talks about it. And so I'm going to deliver this to you as something to think about and then something to talk about. Because in the book of Colossians, Paul talks about the divisions that existed 2,000 years ago in the early church and 2,000 years ago in the people in their culture, and how they were supposed to live with the people that they had differences with. So in Colossians chapter 3, here's what he says. It says, starting in verse 11, he says, "Here there is not Greek and Jew, circumcised and uncircumcised, barbarian, Scythian, slave, free, but Christ is all and in all." In other words, there are all these differences that people would have labeled different people to have. They could have been racial, they could have been cultural, they could have been political. Everyone in this culture had differences, and those differences created obstacles. But he's saying that there's something different for us, that if we want to be followers of Jesus, there's a certain way that we're supposed to live, because no longer do those differences define us. Really, it's Jesus that defines us, because Christ is all and Christ is in all. In verse 12, he says, "Put on then," in light of that, "put on then," almost like a wardrobe, like clothing, like what you dress yourself in. He says, "Put on then, as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, compassionate hearts, with kindness, humility, meekness or gentleness, and patience, bearing with one another. And if one has a complaint against another, forgiving each other. As the Lord has forgiven you, so you also must forgive." See, that's not the way of our political candidates. That's not the way of any of those platforms. It's not even the way of our world. But it's the way that Paul is telling us that if we want to be followers of Jesus, we have to choose. We have to decide to live with, in spite of our differences, being dressed in a certain way. And then in verse 14, he says, and above all of these, put on love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony. So what is it that you can do then in all of your situations whenever you approach someone or you have an interaction with someone who has differences from you? How do you live with them? What do you do in this season of political climate where it's all about the midterm elections and it's all about trashing the other person or believing a different ideology set from the other party or the other campaign? How do we approach life? How do we live with gentleness and kindness and humility and patience with one another? How do we put love over all of those things so that we can find perfect harmony? And I think what we have to do is look at our obstacles in a different way. The world would say that our obstacles create differences, but what I would say is our obstacles can create opportunities. What would it look like if in your world you allowed the differences that you have between other people or other sets of beliefs or other ideologies? What if you allowed those differences to become opportunities for you to show love and kindness and humility and gentleness and patience in a world that doesn't value those things? How do you flip that upside down so that now you are living in a different way that's not caught up and swept up in the anxiety? It's not caught up and swept up in the difficulty and the venom that happens within our culture, especially in seasons like this. How do we set ourselves apart for the world to see that there's a better way? Because our obstacles can create opportunities. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to one thing that you can do, and it's a choice that you can make. And it's the choice of one of the things that Paul lays out, but it's also the choice that you get to do every single time when you have an interaction with anyone, whether they are different than you, whether they are the exact same as you, it doesn't matter. You have a choice to do one thing, and you have a choice to be kind. And so if I'm leaving you with one thought, one thing that I really want you to talk about or think about, one thing I want to set the trajectory for the rest of your week, especially in this season, is the reality that kindness is a choice. Nobody can force you to be angry with them. Nobody can force you to have vitriol towards them. Nobody can force you to be mean. Nobody can force you to be ignorant. Nobody can force you to just be mad. Nobody can force you to walk around with those feelings, because at the end of the day, you get to choose what you do with those circumstances. You may not be able to determine the circumstances in your life, but you can always determine the response that you have to them. And you have an opportunity as someone who says they want to live their best life and they want to put God as their ultimate authority and they want to follow Him. Then there's this opportunity we have to choose kindness, because kindness is a choice. I get to choose my response to people that may be different from me, and I can show them kindness, even when I don't want to, even when they bother me, even when they're being ridiculous, even when they're so wrong that I just wish they would shut up. It doesn't matter. Them being wrong doesn't force me to act a certain way, because I have the agency, I have the empowerment, I have the ability to choose kindness, because kindness is a choice. So this week, what's something you can do in your situations to be kind towards someone else who's different than you? Start to imagine, what would the world look like if you approached people that were different than you with kindness? What would the world look like if either side of a political party or of an ideology or of a belief system, if either side was just kind towards the other person? Can't you imagine the difference that would have? And so start to look at your differences as opportunities. But really the opportunities are going to be there for you to show the way of Jesus to the world through your kindness, because kindness is a choice. So what we want to do is we want to give you an opportunity to talk more about that, or even to think more through that if you're watching by yourself. So there's going to be some questions that come up on the screen in just a few minutes for you to have further discussion. But what we do every single time when we end TLR is we got 3 things we want to tell you about. So real fast, let me tell you about those, and then I'm going to pray for us, and then you keep talking. First thing is home night. This is one of our biggest nights of the year. It's one we look forward to, one we love. If you've ever been to home night, you know it's the best thing that happens at TLR, because we're going to get to baptize a lot of you here at TLR. So if you are interested in getting baptized, what we'd love for you to do is actually send us an email to thelivingroom@woodstockcity.org, or go to our website where you can fill out the form to be able to let us know all the information. We'll get in touch with you, and we are going to get to celebrate on November 30th so many of you saying yes to Jesus and getting baptized. So that's home night. The second thing is we would actually love for you to show up next week. Come back to TLR. We are going to have a brand new series called Seasons, where we're going to be walking through the seasons of the soul and how one of the most important decisions you will ever make in your entire life happens in between one of those two seasons. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be this huge centerpiece thing you don't want to miss. We're going to have next week, so show up for Seasons next week at TLR. And then the last thing is we'd love for you to keep having conversation. So as soon as I'm done, we're going to have some questions that come up on the screen. Go ahead and talk about those as a group, whoever you're watching with, or if you're by yourself, think about them, write them down, answer them. It'll help further your ability to make kindness a choice this week. So TLR, we love you. Let me pray for y'all, and then we will get out of here. So Jesus, thank you. Thank you that you show us kindness when we don't deserve it. Not because of what we've done, but in spite of what we've done. And my ask is that you would allow all of these students, everyone who is listening to my voice right now, to choose kindness this week. Because they're going to have differences with other people. People are going to rub them the wrong way. They're going to have a grievance against other people, a complaint against someone, and yet in all those circumstances, in all those situations, we can choose kindness. So would you give them the ability to do that? And then the moment they do that, Father, I ask in the name of Jesus, you would allow them to see and to know how much better their life can be and will be once they choose that. So would you follow up their faith with your favor? And may they experience that this week. Jesus, thank you for loving us first. We love you right back. It's in your name we pray. Amen. TLR, we love you. We'll see you here next week.